Hi, welcome everyone. Today our tutorial is about selecting panel data models. So the common issue that people face is that there are too many types of models available in panel data, but there is no selection procedure available. So most of the case it's the experience that explain what kind of model you are using rather than the procedure that maybe that should be used. So today we will be drawing a sketch of how of the panel data models, and your suggestions and your value additions are welcomed, because using your help and suggestions the model can be made more robust and more explainable for the future researchers. So today we'll go towards the the flowchart. So this is a diagram, and first of all you need to estimate pooled OLS. So if you have a data in a panel data format where there are cross sections and time periods, you first need to estimate the pool estimates. So it doesn't mean that you have to estimate, it's that this is the starting point. So pool estimate assumes that all the countries and time periods are randomly different from each other. So the data just looks like a big cross section. So when you have a pool estimate, then we'll go towards finding an appropriate model. First, after estimating the pool estimate model, you will first of all look for if the residuals are not varying across cross sections. So if you generate the residuals of the pool OLS and correlate it with the cross sections, and you find that the cross sections are not the residuals are not changing across cross section, then following models could be used. So we call it homogeneous shock model. So homogeneous shock model means that any change that come into change any shock that come into the model via residual, all the cross sections are affected equally. So for that, first of all, the models are that correlated residuals across cross sections. So there is at least some correlation. So we will use SEM. Okay, and so SEM model is used when residuals actually are different. So actually, the each cross section has a different residual, but they are correlated with each other little bit. So we can use a SEM for each cross section. For each all the cross section models can be joined together using SEM, because we know that the residuals are at least correlated. So we call it contemporaneous correlation. Then if the time periods are random, after having no after having no variation across cross section, and the time periods are also random, we will stick with pooled OLS. If there is a two time period model, means if the data has many cross section and only two time periods, then we call it difference in difference estimator. So it's a DID model. So it's usually used to estimate the before and after effect. Okay, and if further, if there are non-random time periods but they are less than 20, means there are cross time periods there, and residuals is not random across the time periods, but the time periods are less than 20. So first what we can do it, we can generate first difference estimator. So we'll just generate our first difference of all the variables and then estimate the panel data, or we can use linear estimate with AR1 residuals, so that control for the autoregressive effect of residuals. And if the time periods are more than 20, and definitely the variables are non-stationary, and so it means there is a time series effect, but we already know that there is no cross section effect. So we'll go for dynamic fixed effect model. So it's a type of panel ARDL model where the long run and short run are uniform for all cross sections. So we can use this model. Then these are few models that we discussed, which are for homogeneous shock. So what does this mean, homogeneous shock? That any change in residual is affecting all the cross sections equally, and there are further assumptions that define the other models. Then other models include the residuals. So residuals are varying across cross sections. So it means you generate residuals from pooled estimates, and you correlate with the cross section, and you found out that they are different for each cross section. So you can have the what test or F test to see if the residuals are different across crosses. The mean value of residuals are different. So if the mean value of residuals are different, it means it is a heterogeneous shock model. It means if we change the residuals, all the cross section may have different effects. So heterogeneous shocks is of three types. First is intercept heterogeneity, slope heterogeneity, and standard error heterogeneity. So first of all, we'll go towards intercept heterogeneity. So intercept heterogeneity means that if you change the residuals, all the cross section will be changing differently, but it will be only explaining in terms of all the variables which are not in the model. Mean it will be unobserved heterogeneity, or it will be only changing the intercept. So if the time periods are random, we'll use cross section fixed effect or random effect. If time periods are not random, and we use two-way fixed effect or random effect. If the time periods are more than 20, we use FMOLS or DOLS, fully modified OLS and dynamic OLS. If there is cross-section dependence, we use CCEP. Okay, so cross-section correlated effects panel data model. And then if there is some endogeneity, we'll use panel GMM or panel 2 SLS. If there is a endogeneity which is dynamic, means you have a lag of dependent variable in the model. Because of that, there is endogeneity. We use difference or system GMM, and we also known as Arellano bond or Blundell bond models. So you can use these models to incorporate the dynamic endogeneity. And if there is slope heterogeneity, means if there is any shock, it will also translate into difference in the slope of the models. Then if the time periods are random, you can use random coefficient model. And if there is and time periods are more than 20, means they are non-stationary, we can use mean group or pool mean group model, which is also known as panel ARDL. And if there is cross-section dependence, you can use augmented mean group or correlated mean group. So these are few models that can be used. And then if there is a heterogeneity in terms of standard error, and if time periods are less than cross section, you can use panel corrected standard error model. And if time periods are more than cross section, you can use feasible generalized least square model. So this way you can select the model. So I will summarize this side first. So how to find this? You generate OLS, and you calculate OLS and generate residuals, and then compare it with the cross section dummy or country names. And if you find that the mean value of the error term is changing across cross section, then you will use heterogeneous shock model. And if they are not changing across cross section, you will use homogeneous shock model. Then other things are like cross section. Then there is that you will correlate the residual with time periods. Then you can select from these. And in this case, and further, if you have cross section dependence, it is something else. So there are tests available to do these things. And next is there are some other models that can be used in panel data. So if you have you generate OLS and your residuals are not normal, it may be because your dependent variable is Poisson distributed, or it's a discrete variable. Then you will use panel Poisson or negative binomial regression. So you have to select between two, so for that there is a test. So if the mean and variance, mean and standard deviation of the variable is same, then it's Poisson, otherwise it's binomial. Then if the dependent variable is not normal, and you can use the quantile regression using median approach. So you can use panel median regression within the quantile regression. And if your dependent variable is binomial, you can use panel logit or probability regressions. So this way it's a and there are some non-common regressions to include that if your model has multicollinearity, and you are not willing to reduce the variables, you can use panel ridge regression. It will control for the multicollinearity. And if you wanted to estimate the efficiency of input and output relation in a panel data setup, then you can use panel stochastic frontier regression. So PNL SFE. Okay, so you can use this approach. Then there are system of equations. So if you have multiple dependent variables within a system and it's a panel data, you can use panel var. And if you have a system of variables, means some of the variables are at a lower level, means firm level, and other variables are at country level, then you can use multi-level regression within a panel data. So these are the possible models that me and my team had learned using our experience and previous research works. Hopefully you understood the dynamics and how to find a panel data model. There are many more available, and I welcome you all to share your experience and do comment and tell which kind of model that you know which is not in this flowchart, and what are the conditions that necessitate that model, so that in a newer version we will add that in our diagram. Thank you very much for watching. Do subscribe and share.